Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Euros Daily. My name's Joe Carter, and I'll be your guide through this. Well, this is the last one, lads, isn't it? I was going to say I'll be your guide through this tournament, but the tournament's over, and we've been unceremoniously dumped out. But yeah, it's Monday the 12th of July. It's just gone 1:30 p.m. Day 32, I guess, of our podcasting. Number 36, though, because we did 4 before the tournament. What an epic daily series it's been, guys. And today we'll be having a look at what happened last night, including why I can't really speak. We'll, of course, have Roz's stat of the day, amongst some other stats and bits, bobs from the tournament, and we'll crown our fantasy football champion. Alongside me is the pun man, Mus, and Roz Mack. Good afternoon, Mus. How you doing?
Afternoon, Joe. Yeah, I'm okay. Still a little disappointed. I get a feeling this is going to be a bit like a group therapy session.
I think it might be, mate. I think it might be. Roz, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Time to reflect, and wasn't in a good place yesterday, but I think it's all about the bigger picture. And yeah, didn't go our way, but penalties, same old. Got to a final though.
Yeah, I mean, it made me think back this morning when I was reading through all the news and stuff, and obviously there's been this terrible aftermath, the sort of ugly side of English football fans, you know, the minority, hopefully, you know, that are giving us a pretty bad rep, you know, around the world, and just the racist abuse and stuff like that is just absolutely awful. And I just feel for those people that are affected by that, and it kind of put things into perspective for me in the way that, do you remember when Christian Eriksen collapsed and everyone was saying that, you know, football doesn't matter? It's almost like that now. You know, there's much bigger issues to deal with, and you know, maybe we'll touch on it a bit throughout the podcast. But yeah, I'm over the footballing side of it, because I'm frankly devastated by some of this stuff that's, you know, the racism, the abuse, the violence, the stuff that's been going on is absolutely disgusting. I wondered if either of you wanted to, you know, make any mention of that.
Well, I thought Gary Neville spoke really well on the subject on Sky News this morning. So if anyone hasn't seen it, go and look that up, because it's obviously a societal problem. It's not just a football one. This team has done amazing work on and off the pitch to bring people together. The fact that failure on the pitch then leads to these issues, it's just showing the social ills that are bigger than football. And you know, even if we'd won last night, those problems would have still been there.
In terms of social media, I think obviously people need to do more. It's always going to go back to the people at the top. These idiots exist. They're oxygen thieves, scum of the earth. And all I can really say is that if anyone sees any of these comments online, you're going to get the odd troll account. You're going to get the odd one that's kind of not actually. A lot of them are thick enough to actually just have their name and their real account. And then if you Google that name and find their LinkedIn, then you can report them to their job. And I think people are clocking onto that a lot more. And they're actually facing the consequences of their actions. So I think DT from AFTV sort of pointed it out first. But, you know, this is something we can do, because obviously Instagram aren't going to do anything about it. Facebook aren't doing anything about it. Twitter aren't doing anything about it. And the government haven't been doing anything about it, because they're all just pointing fingers saying, oh, it's them, it's them, it's them. Yeah, take it into your own hands, like all these flats.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of thing. If we want, you know, be the change you want to see in society, and, you know, and be a part of it, and work together to eradicate, you know, these idiots, these, like you say, Ross, oxygen thieves, absolutely disgusting. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, our job here on Euros Daily has been to bring you the football and the reaction and the analysis of that. So we'll start off by you know, taking a look at the game last night and how it unfolded. I'm gonna let you guys talk us through the game. Do you want to take a half each, and then we'll get on to extra time? Yeah, Mus, can you talk us through a bit of the first half?
Give him the good one.
So as I said, I think on yesterday's show, I said I wouldn't be surprised if we reverted back to the formation used against Germany, and so that came to pass. And within 2 minutes, blistering start from England, and that formation kind of pays off because you get Kieran Trippier on the inside right, picking up from a move that Luke Shaw initiated. Kyle Walker going on the outside, taking a defender away, and then you get Luke Shaw on the left, far post coming in unmarked, because I think Mason Mount has made the inside move, taking the defender inside, freeing him up. And then the cross is perfect, inch perfect. The finish is lovely, capping off what's been a great tournament for Luke Shaw. And to be honest, the first half, kind of there were like signs that Italy could get back into it, but nothing like particularly threatening. I think kind of England saw it through to half time fairly comfortably, and it was looking good.
Yeah, I think at half time, we were all feeling maybe quietly confident. That Luke Shaw goal, by the way, was England's only shot on target in the game. Yeah.
Wow, it didn't feel like that, because as you say, it felt weirdly comfortable for so long. It felt like it was just a regular, Super Sunday game between Wolves and Southampton or something. It was like, to be a bit more nervy than this.
Yeah. I've been asking in the comments on our live stream, been asking people to say, I've been asking, what's your best memory from this most epic of tournaments? And Will's come back. He says, for me, it was the true hope brought to us by the England-Ukraine game. That's his personal sort of favourite moment. If you're watching, get in the comments, give us your favourite moment from the tournament, and let us know, what you enjoyed the most about it, and we'll share those thoughts. Roz, second half of last night. Sorry, mate.
So I guess like what you guys were just saying, sort of it didn't feel like it's one of those games, I think any final where you're so emotionally invested that your account of the game doesn't necessarily lead to what actually happened. I put myself through the highlights again this morning because the highlights didn't show every single penalty. I put myself through finding it on BBC iPlayer and watching the penalty shootout in full. I don't know why I do it to myself. But watching a few of the clips back, Italy were a lot more in control than I think I gave them credit for at the time watching it. I think basically Southgate was pragmatic and stifling. Harry Kane was, I think, sticking on Jorginho. It was sort of, he was playing incredibly deep, which is fine, but there just weren't that many moments where we kind of, in every other game this tournament, there's been the odd moment where Sterling's got on the ball and just given us a bit of magic. There was none of that really in the second half, and we conceded from a goal where I think John Stones was kind of out-muscled by Chiellini. Jordan Pickford makes a brilliant save onto the post, and then Bonucci knocks it in. For me, if you're gonna, it was avoidable. I think it was mainly the sort of John Stones letting Chiellini sort of outmuscle him. But yeah, they're back in the game, and then all of a sudden, this kind of pragmatic approach that Gareth Southgate's taken. Everyone's kind of getting on his back now. They're saying, "Oh, he was too negative." We're in a final. You got us that far. Winning a tournament's about winning 7 games of football. No matter how you do it, and we end up conceding a take it to extra time.
Yeah. The only kind of, I guess there's a bit of solace to take from the fact that, it was a set piece again that did us. The only 2 goals we conceded the whole tournament, set pieces, and we weren't beaten in 90 minutes by anyone. There's positives to take from this, and you think leading into the World Cup next year, it's good building blocks for us.
I think so. I think so. I also watched the Gareth Southgate press conference this morning.
Yeah.
And was it Martin Samuel, or it's one of those soccer supplement people that go on Sky. But anyway, a journalist asks Gareth Southgate, who points out that this is Italy's second European Championship and they've won 4 World Cups. And actually, the reason that these teams like your Italy's, your Brazil's, your Argentinas, your Germany's, teams like that get all of these trophies is because they're also in lots of finals and they lose lots of finals as well. You could say the same for club football with your AC Milans, your Real Madrids. Now, Gareth Southgate sort of agreed and said, yes, we've been to 2 finals. We can't, we've got a 50% record in finals, which is actually pretty good. But he also goes on to point out that Germany won it in 2010. In 2006, they had semi-final heartbreak in their home country. France won the World Cup in 2018. In 2016, they lost the Euros in their own country. This is a process. And if you look at the fact that Gareth Southgate's first tournament, he got us to a semi-final, which is more than anyone since Bobby Robson did. Then 2 years or 3 years later, gets us to a final. We don't concede a goal from open play in the entire tournament. We don't technically lose a game in the entire tournament. We get to a final and we lose in a penalty shootout. I think Jordan Pickford's got to be the most unlucky guy in the world. He makes a world-class save and then concedes. And then saves 2 penalties in the shootout and loses the shootout. The Jorginho save was stunning. I thought, Jordan Pickford for me was unreal yesterday.
Yeah, so that kind of, if you want to talk extra time, it was just quite nervy and tense, few chances. And the penalty shootout, as you say, Ros, Pickford, undeniably the unluckiest man with 3 lions on his shirt. Yesterday, you got a feel for the guys that missed the pens as well, and I liked seeing Southgate come out this morning as well and say that it was his decision on who took the spot kicks and when they took them and stuff like that. Regardless of, even if that's not true, I love that from Southgate, protecting his players because they need protection. Rashford, Sancho, and Saka, all young lads, and I think I was watching Sky Sports News earlier, saw a little graphic on the screen that said the average age of our penalty takers was 5 years, almost 5 years younger than the average age of the Italian penalty takers. And Gareth Southgate also said we've got young lads in our team that won't peak for another 3 or 4 years. They're still improving, So, like you say, trust the process. World Cup next year. Let's be positive and let's bring it home next year. We'll bring it home for Christmas, Mus.
Yeah, exactly. There was that meme from the Roll Safe documentary, where he's like, we never said when it was coming home. But yeah, Christmas 2022 is coming home.
Yeah, a couple of go on. Sorry,
I was just gonna say, so it was obviously it was the youngest. England squad was the youngest squad in the whole tournament, so it follows that we had inexperienced penalty takers or young penalty takers. But I thought, just a word of praise for Italy. Their substitutions were very, very brave. I couldn't believe it when Immobile was taken off, Insigne was taken off, Verratti was taken off. These are their biggest players, or the players of highest profile outside of Italy, and that paid off. Whereas our substitutions this time around didn't pay off, but that's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah, and talking Italy as well, we do need to praise Italy here because they were a fantastic team, and they played extremely well. I thought they broke the game up really well. I mean, they got a yellow card. They got 5 yellow cards, 21 fouls. They really. They were like, we came here to win. We weren't going to lose it. 61% possession, 91% passing accuracy across the team. Unbelievable. 42 balls recovered. 25 tackles, 19 clearances, 5 yellows, 21 fouls. They really defended like beavers, didn't they, Ros?
Yeah, and they had, those 2 kind of Centurion, whatever you want to call them. Bonucci and Chiellini at the back there, who've obviously been playing alongside, Gianluigi Buffon for most of their careers together. Now they've got this new gorilla in goal in Gianluigi Donnarumma, who I think got player of the tournament, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yeah.
He's also stat of the day, never lost a penalty shootout in his career.
Wow.
So he's had 5. He's had, I think, 2 for Italy and 3 for Milan. He's won every single one of them. But yeah, no, I think that they were all about the transition. Oh yeah, this is kind of obvious, but you know, you just need to watch them play. But they're brilliant on the counter, blistering pace up front. Immobile didn't have the best tournament in the world, but what he did do well was kind of be that classic target man. You know, the knock-ons were great. Their midfield, everyone was talking about Locatelli after that first game, and then actually it transpired that he wasn't really featured much in the rest of the tournament. It's all about Jorginho. I would give them the player of the tournament to Jorginho, actually.
Oh, really?
Verratti, yeah, personally, I thought he was just all tournament sensational. Yeah, Di Lorenzo, brilliant defensively, and obviously Emerson wasn't the first choice left back, but I thought he did well yesterday as well. Where did Lorenzo go for the Shaw goal though? That's one thing. They were defensively solid, but I think he sort of had Luke Shaw had like the keys to the city, didn't he? He had like all the freedom in the world.
Yeah. Well,
Lorenzo was like, yeah.
I think it's like Mus was saying, Mount pulled out wide and took Di Lorenzo with him. It was a smart move. It was a really smart move, and it was that kind of early goal again. You know, like Trippier against Croatia in the World Cup. Look, guys. I mean, overall, Italy deserved the win and will be gracious in defeat and trust the process moving forward. Jorginho actually, Ros, as you were saying about him, he actually covered the most distance out of any player at the tournament across the 7 games. He covered. Do you want to have a guess? How many kilometres he covered throughout the tournament?
Let's go for 85. We were talking about 85 before, and I'm really hoping someone got to 85.
86.6. Yeah, by a long way, Italy's best coverer of ground as well. The next best is Bonucci, 66.1, so 20k more across 7 games. So really gets about, Jorginho, absolutely fantastic for them. Verratti as well, unbelievable. Most tackles in the tournament, double anyone else. He got 30. The next best is 15 throughout the whole tournament. And didn't he miss the first game? Yeah, Rod, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was going to say, didn't he have 21? I think it was on 21 in the semis, wasn't he? Did he get 9 yesterday?
Well, yeah, there you go.
That's unreal. Yeah, actually, while it's slight tangent, but before we, I know we talk about Italy, we just talk about Harry Maguire's penalty. Focus on the positives. That was like one of those fake ones where it like breaks the camera, but they've kind of edited it afterwards to make it look like it actually did go right in the top corner, like they CGI'd it right in the top corner, and then it fuzzed up the camera. That was actually a penalty in a penalty shootout. Like, beastly.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Look, lads, I mean, we've gone over lots of stats. We've gone over the game. Tell me, is this the best tournament you've ever seen?
Yeah, hands down.
In living memory, for me, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a pleasure kind of getting to experience it with you guys on the pod daily. It's been absolutely fantastic. So thanks for your contributions. I just want to say.
Cheers, Joe. Thanks for guiding us through the European football.
Oh, mate, no worries.
Of love of 2018.
Yeah, it's. I think we should do it next year for the World Cup as well. I don't know. Let's see how we're feeling. But yeah, obviously we'll be back with EPL Weekly. Before we do knock off though for this tournament, let's have a look at our fantasy football, shall we, and crown our champion. Here it is. Here's the table, and here is the confirmation that Dombot Dominator DB92 has won. He led from the front, almost 400 points throughout the tournament. That's got to be quite high scoring, throughout the whole game, I'd say. 394 points. Second place, silver medal, goes to Roz in the England shirt.
Well, those, I'd just take it off straight away.
Yeah. You got 359 points, mate. Then Tommy Rumble 150. He got 342 in third. Then myself, fourth, 337. And Mus fifth, 333 points. So not a bad showing from us lads. Well done. Give yourselves a little round of applause.
Thank you. Completely unrelated to where I finished, but because there were 22 teams in our mini league, can we say the top 5 are Champions League qualifiers? Relatively, I think that works.
No, sorry, mate. Europa League for you. Thursday nights, Channel 5. Enjoy it. Right, guys. Any other business?
No, it's just going wallow.
Go and get a ball and go for a kickabout outside. Come on. Get that exercise. Get some fresh air in your lungs. You'll be laughing. Right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you for the start of the Premier League football season, which can't come soon enough. I'm a bit scared of no football for a few weeks. It's worrying. But yeah, it's been great. So I will see you next time.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yes.
Cheers.